Hey everyone, this is Joel once again and welcome to another episode of Motorcycle. In today's video, pag-uusapan naman natin yung mga bagay-bagay na kailangan yung i-consider if ever that you are trying to or you're planning to buy this ADV 350. Ito yung mga bagay na it could make or break sa mga desisyon ninyo kung itutuloy nyo pa ba ang pagbili ng ADV 350. So, I listed down 5 things na sa tingin ko kailangan nyong malaman bago nyo bilhin yung ADV 350. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get it started. Okay, so una sa lahat na kailangan nyong i-consider if you are thinking of buying the ADV 350, I think that would be the weight of this scooter, especially if you are coming from smaller scooters. Kung gusto niyo mag-upgrade from, for example, on my end I came from ADV 160, or if you are coming from Aerox or NMAX and gusto niyo yung mas mataas na ng CC and you're considering this bike na bilhin. So yeah, when it comes to the weight, siguro that would be subjective kasi if sanay ka naman sa malalaki or sa mabibigat like big bikes, then I think this is gonna be a lot more easier than big bikes. Pero kung galing ka sa maliit na displacement na scooter, then that would really matter. Alright, so when it comes to the weight naman, comparing it with my ADV 160 before, ang ADV 160 weights around 133 kilograms, while ito naman is 188 to 190 kilograms. So that's a big difference when it comes to weight. Parang isang sako na ng bigas, di ba? So at around 55 kilos difference. So medyo may kabigatan na talaga ang ADV 350. Sa katunayan, I had this bike na natumba na twice because of the weight related thing. Okay, so ang una is I was parked on inclined area, medyo slope siya, and then I was trying to move to another location, and then syempre kailangan mong lumiko. Naglumiko ako pababa, and then hindi ko na anticipate yung bigat niya. Yeah, nung nakatagilid na siya, hindi ko na siya kayang ibalik. So pinayaan ko lang siyang matumba. Now the second time is nung naman hindi ako naka-mount. Actually nililipat ko lang siya from one place to another. So usually kapag nililipat or tinutulak natin yung motor natin, kailangan 'di ba yung weight is nasa atin. So kumbaga dapat nakalin sa atin yung ating motor, 'di ba? However, when I was trying to transfer it, for some reason nailipat ko yung weight niya into the other side, and again hindi ko na rin naman na-anticipate ulit yung kanyang weight. Hindi ko na siya naibalik, in short, and hinayaan ko na rin siya, natumba na lang din ulit siya. So yeah, those are the reason kung bakit natumba yung ating motor, because of its weight related. So another thing weight related is kapag nasa itutulak mo siya, halimbawa pupunta ka sa isang lugar or itutulak mo, nasa parking ka, itutulak mo siya, and medyo mahirap siyang itulak as compared sa, of course, mas magaan na bike, lalo na kapag ka uneven yung surface, konting uneven lang, like hindi sementado or may umbok or may bato, talagang ang hirap niyang itulak. It's either nakasakay ka or nakababa ka, medyo mabigat talaga siya. So those are the things that you need to consider, especially kung balak mong bilhin itong motor na ito. Okay, so we're now on to the next on our list na you need to consider, and I think that would be the seat height of this scooter. Um, Again, if you are coming from smaller CC bikes or mas mababa na mga bike, then that would really matter. Pero kung galing ka na sa mga big bikes, then I don't think it would really matter that much. Ang seat height ng ADV 350 is 795 millimeters, while yung ADV 160 natin before is 780 millimeters. Now, dati nung nasa 160 tayo, naka flat footed tayo kapag nagra-ride tayo or kapag naka-mount tayo sa ating motor. However, dito, although my height is 5'7", kahit na 5'7 ako, medyo tiptoe pa rin, hindi flat footed yung ating paa sa ating motor, of course. And yeah, ang ginagawa ng iba is pinapalitan nila na yung seat niya ng flat seat. Ayoko naman gawin yung ganong klaseng pagpalit. Mas gusto ko yung seat niya kasi of course mako-compromise naman doon yung comfort ng seat mo, kasi kung flat seat medyo manipis na yon, di ba? And the other, ang pinaka quicker solution I guess would be yung pagsusuot ng mataas na sapatos, mataas yung sakong sapatos. So I guess that would be a lot more easier. So ako, kapag nakasuot ako ng medyo makapal yung ano ba tawag dito, sakong, yung sole ng sapatos, at least somehow nako-compensate yung kailangan natin na height ng ating na kailangan nating height para maging flat footed. Isa pa sa mga challenges related to height would be mounting, yung pagsakay sa scooter na to. Ginagawa ko na lang kasi kapag naka center stand siya, ang hirap niya sampahan. So saka medyo mabigat, may kabigatan nga siya, di ba? So ang ginagawa ko na lang pag nagma-mount ako dito, pag sumasakay ako, is ginagawa ko, sina-side stand ko na lang yung ating motor para at least secured siya, at the same time medyo mababa yung upuan para makasampa tayo. The same thing with my OBR. Kapag sasakay yung OBR natin, sina-side stand na rin natin yung ating motor. At then ganun din kapag bumababa tayo ng motor, naka-side stand na rin siya. So yun ang ginagawa natin in order for us to be able to resolve that scenario. Okay, so pagdating naman sa gas consumption, I don't know why people are still asking about it, lalo na yung mga interested mag-upgrade from a lower CC bike. So of course, syempre, kung mag-upgrade ka, mas mataas na displacement na bike, then expect mo na tataas yung consumption mo. For some reason, they were expecting na close yung gas consumption nito sa mga existing lower CC bikes. For example, for ADV 160, ang consumption ko doon is average is around 30 plus kilometers per liter, while dito naman, of course, nakalagay sa website ng Honda, although kilala ang Honda for fuel efficiency, talaga, if you are gonna compare it with other brands, na kung meron man 350cc na other scooters out there, I'm pretty sure Honda would still win when it comes to efficiency of its gas consumption. Okay, so to give you an idea about the gas consumption, unfortunately that would be affected by your driving habit, yung location na pagdadrivean nyo, yung traffic situation, road condition, and all that, yung throttle habit ninyo, kung paano nyo pinipiga-piga yung motor ninyo. Those are all affected by that. And to give you an idea about my experience, kapag dito lang sa city, mga errand, hatid sundo, may bibilhin dito and gano'n, at meron mga traffic, usually ang gas consumption ko would be around 20 hanggang 23 kilometers per liter. However, kapag long ride naman, For example, galing dito papuntang Davao or Jensen, all that, um, the gas consumption is uh, more efficient kapag ka ganon. I usually get 30 kilometers per liter above kapag nasa long ride naman tayo. So, yun ang gas consumption. So, for those people na hesitant because of its gas consumption and expecting, unfortunately, hindi mangyayari yung magiging 30 kilometers per liter lalo na kapag dito ka lang sa city driving. Siguro pagka mga long ride talaga, then yes, attainable yung around 30 kilometers per liter. Now, if you are not into that, then better stick to lower cc bikes na lang. Okay, and next would be yung maintenance cost or ang gastos kapag i-maintain mo yung motor na to. Of course, if you are again coming from a lower cc bike, syempre mas mataas na ang expected na maintenance cost. Ang mga parts nito is yung iba pang big bike na rin, so medyo may kamahalan na rin siya as compared sa mga sa lower cc na scoot. Pero sa tingin ko, on my opinion, tama lang kahit paano yung price niya, or kayang-kaya naman on my end. Kasi if you would think about it, yung kanyang change oil, ang change oil nito is 1.3 ml. So ibig sabihin, from my previous ADV 160, isa lang ang binibili kong oil na 800 ml. Dito, dalawang 800 ml na. So dalawa na ang ilalagay nila at 1.3 ml ang ilalagay nila na oil. And ang every change oil nito, it was set by the Honda mechanic mismo sa flagship, is every 2.5 kilometers. So that's not bad kasi every 2.5 kilometers ka lang naman magpapa-change oil at magbabayad ng service fee. Samantalang dati sa lower cc bikes natin, ginagawa is every 1,000 kilometers. So magpapa-change oil ka, although isa lang ang oil na bibilhin mo, kailangan mo magbayad every time, of course, ng service fee. Samantalang ito, haantayin mo ng 2,500 kilometers, saka magpapa-change oil and magbabayad ng service fee, diba? Now, when it comes to oil filter naman, medyo mahal ang oil filter nito. However, there are alternatives naman if you like to save. Ang oil filter nito is pang big bike na, and that costs around 1,000 pesos, 1,000 plus. I don't know exactly the exact amount kung magkano siya. However, there are alternatives which will cost you only around 250 pesos. Kagaya na lang ng Vic 901, pang sasakyan siya actually. And kaparehas na kaparehas siya at fit naman dito, nasubukan na ng iba nating mga kasama. Well, if you want to save, you can also use that as an alternative. Pero when it comes to the cost naman, I think it's just tama lang, diba? Minsan nga parang nakasave ka pa pag kung change oil lang naman ang gagawin mo. Pero siguro sa mga parts, if ever naman wala pa naman tayo so far at around 6,000 kilometers na tayo na gumagamit ng ADV 350, wala pa naman tayong mga parts na nasira or nireplacean. So yeah, so far so good when it comes to maintenance. Okay, so last but not the least is going to be the maneuverability. Sa length niya, mas mahaba na siya at mas wider na siya at mas mabigat pa sa previous ADV 160 natin. So pagdating sa maneuverability naman, advantage pa rin ang mga lower or mas maliit na mga bikes, especially pag mga traffic situation. Kagaya nito, okay lang yung mga ganitong klaseng situation, pero kapag kadikit-dikit na yan at lusot-lusot na, since mahahaba ang wheelbase ng ADV 350, kailangan niya ng malaking space para makaliko. halimbawa mag-U-turn ako dito, hindi kaya ng isang lane lang makapag-U-turn. Kakainin niya talaga yung other side para makapag-U-turn ako dito, just to give you guys an idea. Siyempre medyo mabigat pa siya at medyo malaki. Isipin nyo rin kapag yung parking space ninyo, kung gagamitin nyo siyang daily sa traffic situations na mga ganon, it's not, medyo challenging siya sa pag lusot-lusot, at also sa parking kapag walang special parking, kasi 350 siya, hindi naman siya considered as big bike. Pero I think some other malls consider it as big bike already, and they provide parking space na para sa malalaking motor. Pero kung wala at doon yung ipapark, it will be really challenging for you, kasi kapag siniksikan na yan ng mga maliliit na mga motor at medyo makitid yung labasan, mahirapan ka nang iatras-atras siya at ilabas yung mga bike ninyo. So those are the things that you need to consider when if you are planning to purchase this bike. Pero kung maganda naman yung parking, then why not, 'di ba? Sobrang okay lang, hindi yun magiging problema. Alright, so those are the things that I can think of na pwedeng maging reason for not buying this bike. Pero yeah, I guess if you have more questions or suggestions or anything about ADV 350, just leave a comment down below. I guess that's gonna be it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye guys.